In today's video, we're going to be exploring a theory that I have about Silverstream, that I'm planning on developing further in future episodes of my version of Forest of Secrets. And while I tell you all of this, my awesome sister Rachel will be doing a speed paint inspired by this theory. I probably should warn you now that there will be some spoilers discussed for a character's demise in Forest of Secrets, just in case you haven't read it already. But most of this is pretty baseline knowledge for the Warriors fandom since these books have been out for nearly 2 decades. Anyways, you've been warned. But don't click away because this video is going to be interesting. And I want to hear your opinions in the comments down below once I've told you my theory. Your ideas and feedback could help shape the future of the world that I'm building within this story, and have future impacts on the storyline that should deepen a lot of characters' perspectives. Cool thing about these episodes that I'm making is that, unlike with a novel, I'm not necessarily limited to a single point of view. And I asked several months back, if it was possible, which characters do you think would benefit the story to see things from their perspective? And you guys came through with a lot of great ideas. Like seeing more things from Tiger Claw's perspective to help the audience better understand his treacherous plan, and even explore Goldenflower's point of view to see the start and deterioration of her relationship with the main antagonist of the book. But the most requested character to get a point of view in Forest of Secrets was, well, the character we're focusing on today, Silverstream. And it makes a lot of sense to do it. First off, she's in a completely different clan than our main character Fireheart, so her perspective could remove a lot of unknown variables to the story that lead to major plot points, so that when those events inevitably happen, they hit harder and make more of an impact on the viewers, rather than just leaving them blindsided and confused. There's a lot of room in the story for an added perspective for Silverstream, mostly after Greystripe and Fireheart are punished for helping River Clan. And that's to the point which I currently have episodes planned and scripted for episodes 1 through 16. We already gained through those episodes a lot of insight into River Clan, and we come to care about the characters there through Fireheart and Greystripe's heroic act in saving Mistyfoot's kids from the river. Fireheart and Greystripe are only able to help and bring back prey to River Clan for a short period of time before Tiger Claw discovers what they're doing and puts a stop to it. But there's a perfect opportunity to jump over to a River Clan perspective right before Wind Clan and Shadow Clan attack Thunder Clan, after the gathering and the attempt to kill Broken Tail, because Greystripe is missing from that battle. Why, you might ask? Because he's visiting Silverstream. And this is an important visit that can't just be glossed over, because just a few chapters later, she dies at Sunning Rocks, when the kids come unexpectedly early. So that made me think, what were the events that happened outside of Fireheart's scope that led to this terrible tragedy? So many cats seem to carry the blame for Silverstream's death. Greystripe understandably feels guilt and sorrow for the love he lost. And Cinderpaw is absolutely crushed by the outcome, seeing Silverstream's death as a failure on her part. And it all but makes her want to give up on her future of becoming a medicine cat. I've done my research, and the odds of a she-cat dying while giving birth are fairly low, especially with the support of a medicine cat with some prior experience. And though we don't see it in the books, Cinderpaw must have that. Goldenflower kidded before Silverstream and became the foster mother to her kids after she died. So we can assume that Cinderpaw was present for that kidding, and gained some confidence from the experience that she could handle a similar situation. Otherwise, she would have never volunteered to come, and would have gone to fetch Yellowfang instead. So that brings up the question, what went wrong? Why did Silverstream die, and what caused her to go into early labor in the first place? Easy answer for the plot of the story, and to isolate Fireheart from his best friend for the next section of the arc. But that's too simple. On this channel, we're all about digging deeper and forging our own connections. So here's my theory and what we'll likely be doing with the episodes. Before Greystripe's visit to Silverstream, we get a scene from her perspective in River Clan's camp. She's in the medicine cat den getting a routine checkup with Mudfur. He's warning Silverstream that her kidding might not be easy. There's a history in her clan of difficult labors. Mudfur's mate died in labor after giving birth to Leopard Fur, and Silverstream's own mother died soon after kidding her. He makes her promise to take it easy. He's got enough patients to worry about with Mistyfoot's son who never fully recovered from falling into the river, and whose chill only seems to be worsening. In the episode, Greystripe comes to RiverClan's camp with prey, and the cats of RiverClan are relieved to see him and are thankful for the prey. But Greystripe regretfully informs Crookedstar that this will be the last time, and the ThunderClan can no longer help them. Crookedstar puts on a brave face and makes it seem as if all of RiverClan's problems are solved, and that the help is no longer needed anyways. This, of course, is far from the truth. RiverClan is still struggling with the poisoned prey source of the river, and many cats are still falling ill. Unknowingly, in the background of the scene, we see Mistyfoot's daughter Primrosepaw boast to her brother Reedpaw about a fish that she caught, and we see her happily eating it. Reedpaw refuses to eat it, and that actually saves his life, because the fish is poisoned. Anyways, as you can probably tell, RiverClan is in for a lot more tragedy, but that is for future episodes. After Greystripe's meeting with Crookedstar, Silverstream pulls him aside and the two talk privately. She is worried for the future of their kits. Crookedstar happens to overhear the conversation from the bushes and realizes that Greystripe is the father of his daughter's kits, and that his daughter has made the same mistake his brother made in falling for a ThunderClan cat. This scene will actually be true to the books, since there is some evidence that Crookedstar did discover the truth about Silverstream and Greystripe's relationship, as we saw in the illustrated section at the end of Crookedstar's promise. In my theory, some more time passes, and several episodes later, we revisit a point of view with RiverClan, where Pikepaw has died, and now Primrosepaw is sick from the poisoned fish, and is teetering between life and death. Mistyfoot is devastated, and Silverstream has been comforting her. This tragedy has stirred feelings of uncertainty and anxiety in Silverstream, and she's been feeling them in pangs all day. She is unsure if she wants to kit in RiverClan, because there are so many dangers. Crookedstar calls his daughter in to speak with him, and he reveals to her that he knows the kit's father is Greystripe, and that Silverstream has broken the warrior code. He confesses to her that he has known other cats that have made the same mistake. Silverstream protests and says that it's no mistake. She says that she will be with Greystripe and that her heart is with him already. Her father tells her that RiverClan needs these kits, especially after Mistyfoot's loss. She must say goodbye to Greystripe and end her relationship with him before the kits come, so that he won't make any claim for them. Silverstream is very upset from the conversation with her father, and she leaves camp and heads for Sunning Rocks to find Greystripe. All along the way, she feels sharp pains and is racking her mind for a plan. She loves Greystripe and refuses to end her relationship with him. She knows it isn't logical, but she wants to run away from it all. RiverClan, ThunderClan, the tragedy and pressure of clan life, all she wants is to be with Greystripe, and she convinces herself on her journey that the two of them can raise their kits together. Greystripe does end up coming by Sunning Rocks, and he sees the distressed Silverstream, who explains her plan of them running away together. Greystripe is thrown by this new development. He has never even considered the idea of abandoning everything and leaving the clans. He has continually, up until now, rationalized that his relationship with Silverstream does not distract him from his responsibilities as a ThunderClan warrior, and he's argued again and again with Fireheart that it does not affect his loyalty to his clan. But this new proposition shakes him. If he leaves the clan to be with Silverstream, he will definitely be breaking the warrior code, and severing his ties to the clan he knows and loves, and leaving it all behind. Silverstream, in a fragile state already, takes his hesitation as a revelation that he is not fully committed to her, and is not willing to leave his clan for her sake. This sends her into a full-on panic. Greystripe sees that she is unwell, and does his best to catch up and get on the same page as her, and tries to comfort her and assure her that everything will be alright. They'll figure this out. There's plenty of time. Silverstream fights back. No, we're out of time. The kids, I think they're coming. Fireheart, who happens to have followed Greystripe, jumps into action when he hears this. It's way too early for the kids to be here, and Fireheart runs back to camp to get help from a medicine cat. But it's already too late. Ultimately, there's nothing anyone could have done to save Silverstream. Let me take a step back and explain a bit. I believe Silverstream actually began to show signs of going into labor much earlier in the day. But she did not feel ready or that she was in a safe enough place to give birth. So, she deliberately delayed telling anyone in RiverClan. And she refused to even consciously recognize it herself. This caused enormous strain on her body, especially to travel in her condition to Sunning Rocks. This weakened her and added to the complications she was already predisposed to with her family's history of unusual kit deliveries. I think the ultimate cause of death for Silverstream was hemorrhaging after delivery. Some causes of death in this situation could be caused by a kit that's not able to be delivered. But from Cinderpaw's reaction, that doesn't seem to be what happened. And anytime that we see Silverstream in StarClan, there's not a third unborn kit spirit. So I think excessive bleeding and exhaustion is what led to Silverstream's death. But like the title of this video says, who is truly to blame for this tragedy? Well, Silverstream's father, Crooked Star's added pressure to end her relationship with Graystripe definitely didn't help. But we have to recognize that Silverstream might have been doomed from the beginning. Because Silverstream is a descendant of Appledusk. If you haven't read Mapleshade's Vengeance, you might not know what that means. But Appledusk was Mapleshade's ex-mate, of which she swore a curse on all of his posterity. And with Silverstream's tragic death, Crooked Star's promise to Mapleshade is complete. He put his clan before every cat that he ever loved, including his daughter. I have a plan for having a scene later where Crooked Star wakes from the dream that he has at the end of Crooked Star's promise. You know, the one where Mapleshade appears and mocks him after he sees Silverstream walk and join the ranks of StarClan. I think it's kinda special that Crooked Star knows before any other cat can tell him that Silverstream has died. And I like the idea of him sending Mistyfoot herself to ThunderClan to find out the details of what happened, so she's not totally blindsided by the revelation. So, in the end, who really is to blame for Silverstream's death? Well, it's up to your interpretation. But Mapleshade's curse definitely played a part. I really enjoyed fleshing out this theory, and there is so much to do to make it happen. And to make all of these other episodes a reality. But I'm super excited to do it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions about my ideas about why Silverstream's kidding went wrong, and what you think of the added point of view scenes, and any other additional ideas you might have to make the episodes even better. Thank you so much for watching this speed paint until the very end. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'd like to give a special thank you to the members of Early Clan. Voice Not Heard, Skyheart, Gotcha Wolfheart, L-Star of Sky Clan, James Awesome Videos, Salaman Agafonov, Mr. Scary Pasta, All Hallows Hounds, Jinx Cat, TDR Melodic, Nat K, Tiger Pelt of Wind Clan, and Achilles the Spartan. If you'd like me to say your name at the end of the videos and get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content, then consider clicking the join button down below. Hey! Okay, we're starting our Silverstream recording, apparently. Anyways, ye have been warned. Can't breathe enough. Okay. I might have to take a break and breathe for a bit. Breathing is hard. Breathing is hard. Okay, bye. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back with my audio recording. I think I got some breath back. Let's not try to waste it. Well, guys, that's all that I have for you guys for today. Until next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye!